Let's have a look at what they all face on today's route. And really, stage 12 from Bourg-en-Bresse to Saint-Etienne is a variation on stage 11. 2 kilometres shorter at 185.5, and the same rolling transitional terrain, if a bit more spread out. The intermediate sprint comes just 39 kilometres into the stage, and then the race takes in some of the smaller mountains of the Massif Central. The fourth and final climb of the day is the Côte de Grammont, and all the sprinters should get over that in time to contest the finish in Saint-Etienne, if their teams can catch the break, that is.
Down there was a Sylvain Chavanel.
Well, more importantly though, Phil, is the champion of Germany, because he would have been a big favourite, but it's now down to Peter Sagan. Peter Sagan is inside of 3 kilometres to go to the finish, and he's got all of his teammates now dedicated to try and get him the victory that he's been looking for since day one.
Well, the only man really left in this peloton now, possibly two, who could really go as quickly as Peter Sagan, would be John Degenkolb. I see there's 2 riders down there keeping out of trouble from Team BMC, but there was 2 BMC riders involved in that shunt as well. Alessandro Di Marchi, who's the last man standing there, usually the strong man out on the course for Cannondale. Tony Martin on the far right.
Well, also noticing there Tinkoff Saxo moving forward. They'll be thinking about their sprinter as well, Daniele Benati. They don't have to look after Alberto Contador anymore, but certainly there's going to be a big lead out coming from these guys. Also, the man that Tony Martin is looking after will be Matteo Trentin, who's already got a victory.
Well, that's Sylvain Chavanel on the left with Andre Greipel. A chance of the stage win gone.
You leave the hand from the handlebar and make like this, and that's why you crashed. You crashed. Your mistake.
He's blaming Sylvain Chavanel for the accident. He said, "You hit my handlebar. It's your mistake," he said in English to Chavanel. But this is where the action is now. 1.8 kilometres to go. Cannondale getting a little bit disrupted by moves here, because you're going to have to watch also coming up is Team Katusha for Alexander Kristoff in those red jerseys. Now they're all trying to find wheels to follow. It's a little bit of disorganisation now.
They're losing a little bit of power. Sagan gets himself back into 4th or 5th position now. He's looking for a lead out. Matteo Trentin is right up there for Omega Pharma Quickstep. We're right into Saint-Etienne. There is the sweeper now. Very shortly they'll start to see the red kite across the road indicating 1,000 metres to go. But Phil, because this is a slightly uphill finish. If you start the sprint too soon, you will fade in the last 40 or 50 metres, and you can get jumped right on the line.
Well, Alexander Kristoff is perfectly placed at the moment to finally get the stage win he's been looking for. He's been in the first 3, but he hasn't won a stage. Now they're coming into what is a sprinter's delight as we get into the heart of Saint-Etienne. We are 1,000 metres from the line, 1 kilometre to go. Well, there's no doubt about one thing, it is a sprinter's delight now, and Sagan about 8 men down as the sprint starts.
Well, Omega Pharma Quickstep are trying to set this up for them, and Matteo Trentin. Kristoff is up into 4th position. Peter Sagan is in 5th position in that dark green jersey. Tony Martin, where does he find the power to lead this all out? Kwiatkowski is in 2nd place, and they're looking to do this again for Matteo Trentin in 3rd.
But Trentin is in front of Kristoff and also Peter Sagan, and now comes the French champion. This is the closest he's had at finishing a sprint. Degenkolb is coming in as well, as Degenkolb is coming through to the finishing line. Now he's being challenged on the line here now. This is Kristoff in red, but it looks as though Trentin is going to try and do it. They've opened the door for him, and as he goes for it, Kristoff has got the better wheel here, being chased by Sagan and the French champion Demar. Is he going to hang on, Kristoff, as he comes to the line? And yes, he is. He gets the victory. Sagan is over in 2nd place, so he's finally made good.
Well, that was what everybody was looking for this afternoon, but there was some tricky little moves coming in on the run in there down towards the finish. Alexander Kristoff has been knocking on the door. Peter Sagan again frustrated. French national champion right up there as well.
He is absolutely delighted with that.
Yep, a first win for Kristoff after 2 second places in the first week. An astonishing 4th second place for Peter Sagan. And Arnaud Demar 3rd, matching his best result from stage 4. Now, Matteo Trentin finished 6th, but ended up being demoted to 60th, the back of the leading bunch. And here's why. He's the 2nd rider back here on the left, and swoops even further left, forcing John Degenkolb behind him to take evasive action to avoid being put either onto the ground or into the barriers. Now, all the overall contenders finished in the front group on the same time. Tony Galopin, though, lost 5 minutes 45, finishing down 139th. By contrast, Andre Greipel managed to stay with the bunch over the final climb, only to be deprived of the chance to sprint by a crash with just over 3 kilometres to go, a crash for which he blamed Sylvain Chavanel.
Yeah, but you take the handlebar. You leave the hand from the handlebar and make like this. And that's why you crashed. You crashed. Your mistake.
Voilà, donc il était remonté contre moi, mais j'ai pas voulu baisser mon pantalon. J'ai un sprinter à placer, c'est Osler, donc nous on a notre boulot à faire et lui il a son boulot à faire, donc forcément il n'y a pas de place pour tout le monde. C'est tombé devant, voilà, il y a eu un rétrécissement et puis je me suis accroché.
Whether Alexander Kristoff would have beaten Greipel in the sprint, we'll never know, but he did beat Peter Sagan, as the peloton seems to be taking it in turns to do.
Peter, can you believe what's happening to you on this Tour de France? You're so close almost every day.
A destiny. Second place is good.
Alexander, fantastic day. A really, in any cyclist's career, to win a stage in the Tour de France is enormous. How does that compare to your other big win in Milan-San Remo?
Of course, San Remo is in one result is bigger because of all the points that's at stake and everything, but yeah, I'm for sure this is the second biggest I done, so I'm very happy.
Today your tactics were different from yesterday. It looked like you got everything right today.
Yeah, it was everything okay. My team put me on the front the last 3 kilometers, and yeah, I've been in a good position, but Kristoff, it was better today.
Just one change at the top of the standings. Tony Galopin has disappeared from 6th after getting dropped today, so TJ Van Garderen, Jean-Christophe Perrault and Bauke Mollema all shuffle up. Nothing to unduly trouble Vincenzo Nibali today, which is just as well, considering what's coming up tomorrow.